Hola, welcome to Public Health with Ale. Bienvenidos to Public Health with Ale. First of all, I want to thank you all for the support on my first video. If you haven't watched it, you can find it right here. Go and watch it, please. You will like it. And just so that you can get sort of the idea of why I'm here and what I'm doing with this new YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about factors to consider when choosing an MPH program, so a Master's in Public Health program. The first thing to consider will be the program and its formats. What I mean by that is, are you doing an online program? Are you doing an in-person program? Those things are questions to ask yourself. And I think that's the first question that you should make yourself, since, you know, moving to pursue public health will mean that you're moving from one city to another or from one state to the other. And of course, that will involve a significant amount of money. So just think about that on your own. And also think about if there's a possibility of you doing the online version or doing it in an online format. And yeah, just think about how each format will align with your personality best and with your career goals, as well as with your burst learning strategy, to put it that way. So I am doing a fully online program, and the reason why it shows that, just to give you an example, is because I am a self-started, so I don't have a problem setting a schedule for myself and, you know, saying, let's say I will study and do my homework on Mondays and Wednesdays, as well as Sundays, and I really don't need the face-to-face interaction with professors all the time. Also completely okay by myself doing my own work, and that's just something that it's my personal opinion and my personality. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So in which format would you like your program? The other thing to consider within the program will be if there's faculty doing any research that's within or aligned with your interest of things that you would like to, you know, pursue in the future as a public health professional. Is the curriculum listing courses that align with your career goals and align with the things that you're interested in seeing within your program? And I will say that the last thing I consider personally is if there's a field experience or if there's a capstone project. The second consideration will be financial aid. In terms of financial aid, sometimes in the website of the program you will not find all the information, so I definitely recommend, this is one of my number one tips, ask all the questions. Find a contact, find a number, call or email that person every single time you have a question, and ask everything, because whatever you don't ask, you're never gonna know. And one of the first things I asked personally was if there's any financial aid or assistantships, opportunities, or scholarships for fully online students. Just to give you a list of the financial aids that you should ask for. And please let me know if you have any other idea of anything else within a school that they can provide. Obviously scholarships, assistantships, so graduate assistantships, research assistantships, as well as teaching assistantships. Departmental jobs, or any maybe on-campus job or remote job that you can get within the school as a student. One thing that you have to ask, that there's two things. Do you have to be enrolled to receive this type of financial aid? And second, do you have to be a full-time graduate student, or is it okay that you're gonna be part-time? Ask them, is there anything for part-time students? The third consideration would be the cost of living. If you are moving to another city, if you are moving to another state, if you're moving from outside of your house, outside of your home, or where you've been for the longest time ever, relocate basically, is the city that you're moving into, is the city where the campus is it within your budget, right? So is the cost of living of that city within your budget? Are you able to pay rent? Are you able to pay groceries? Would you need a car or no, because they have good public transportation. Other thing to consider is the career outcomes or employment rate. So what I mean by this is, and I'm gonna show you a video of where to find this or how to look it up. So when you go to the website for your school, you have to look up career outcomes or career center, right? Within that page, within that page, and I'm gonna show you an example from my school, you're gonna see maybe a PDF or you're gonna see an interactive infographic type of page where they're gonna show you where the people that have gotten that degree or they have went through the same school that you're gonna go, so through the same department, the same degree, the same major, where or mostly where they have gotten employed, and also at what rate. That shows you, the employment rate post-graduation, let's say within a year, within 6 months when they graduated. The other thing to consider would be the culture of the institution. So by this, I mean, for example, I went to FIU. FIU is in Miami. The lifestyle of Miami may be completely different to whatever you know around this country, right? Because this is known as a party city. The culture is everybody goes out, everybody goes to the club, everybody goes in a jet, and all of those things. A lot of people know Spanish, and you have that party city vibe with like a lot of Spanish speakings and a melt of cultures just in one place. So what is the culture like in that institution? And I think, reaching out maybe to any alumni or asking anybody that maybe knows a friend of a friend, if they went to that school, if they're from that city, they might be able to tell you what's the culture like there. And the most important thing, does it fit your lifestyle? Does it fit the person you are and the things that you're looking for? Obviously, going to a school doesn't mean that you're gonna be doing what everybody's doing. I'm in Miami and I'm not a person who goes to the club. I'm not a party person, but I'm still here, right? But it's a one thing to consider, just because you're gonna be there for more than probably a year, and you will probably want to like where you're living for the longest time that you're there. All right, the other consideration will be career development resources. So what I mean by career development resources, and also networking, if you want to call it that way too, is, does your school provide career coaching? So within the career center, do they have career coaching? Do they have opportunities attending a conference? Do they have opportunities for you to sit down with an advisor or counselor to help you find out jobs, to help you find internships, fellowships? Most importantly, and I think this is super important just because, and maybe a lot of people can agree with me, after you graduate in this period of time, even if you have a job, sometimes you really don't know what you're doing, and it's okay. I mean, it's completely fine. You are where you are and you're doing your job, and that's fine, but maybe you want something different, or maybe you just want to change your job because now you have a different interest within your career goals and whatever, and you just want some guidance. And a lot of schools provides career coaching for alumni and resources for alumni. Do they have opportunities for career fairs and all of that? So at FIU, we have in-person and virtual, and I think that's great, because if you're like me who's attending another university fully online and I want to participate in a career fair, usually the career fairs are not only with local organizations, rather than, they have organizations probably from all around the country or whatever, and it provides the opportunity for those students who are not present at the moment to participate from the comfort of their home or whatever they are at the moment. So yeah, think about that too. The last consideration, and if you want, you can count this in within the culture of the institution, or you can count it as by a different category, but for me it's the community. So does your school have opportunities, again, for internships within campus, outside campus, with local organizations that they have partnership with, institutions or whatever? Do they have clubs, organizations that you're interested in? And that you might become interested in. For example, here I was part of the SDA group, which is the Student Dietetic Association during my undergrad. At one point, I also joined the soccer club for women, and those are some of the organizations that I was interested in that FIU provided. The other thing would be if they have engagement opportunities of your interest. So not only clubs and organizations, but like what type of activities do they do for students, you know, around campus? Do they do festivals? They do movie nights? Do they have a football team if you like football? Do they have a soccer team if you like soccer to attend the games? Any sorts of things. But the thing is, what activities does the school provide that your interests, right? And I can only talk from my personal experience from my undergrad and where I'm going to, which is Indiana University. Go Hoosiers. We have reached the end of this video, and I hope that you feel less overwhelmed about making a decision of which school to choose for your MPH program. Just remember that choose whatever fits your budget, whatever it's within your interest, but most importantly, choose your dream school. I knew IU, so Indiana University was my top one since the beginning of my search, right? I looked up the school and I already knew that was gonna be my top one compared to the others, right? I hope that with these factors to consider, you can make a decision, and just let me know where you're going. It will be really interested to see where future public health professionals will be going. So I hope you liked my video. Please remember to subscribe, share, and save it for a friend or for yourself for later, just to give you some guidance of what to consider when you're choosing an MPH program. Thank you again. Bye.